Hey, Reddit Media here. Welcome to my channel. Have you ever seen a ghost? If so, what happened and where? Okay, so I used to camp out by myself up at Joshua Tree National Monument in California quite often. And there was this one spot that I always used to go. It was up in the mountains a little bit. About a 45-minute hike from down in the desert where I had to park my car. I have camped out there by myself dozens of times. That night about 2:30 in the morning, I was sitting around the campfire playing the guitar, smoking a joint. Wasn't drunk. Hadn't smoked any more than I usually do. When all of a sudden I got a really creepy feeling. Like I was being watched. I couldn't shake it off. I never felt like that up there. I don't get creeped out when I'm camping. But for some reason that night I did. And I couldn't shake it off. Finally, I couldn't ignore the feeling any longer. So I put down the guitar and started creeping around trying to see if I could maybe spot someone watching me. I had my binoculars with me and it was a full moon, so I could see rather far. I kept hiding in different spots trying to see if I could see someone, but I didn't. And then I started thinking, what if it was a mountain lion or something? But I didn't see anything. I didn't hear anything. None of that. But it felt like something was out there with me, is the only way I could describe the feeling I had. I got so freaked out that I packed up my shit in the middle of the night and hiked the 45 minutes back down to my car. By the time I got to my car I was feeling completely different. It was a beautiful night. I was in my favorite place in the world again. And I felt stupid. So rather than drive an hour and a half home, I decided to go back up to the camping spot and stay the night. I wasn't thinking anything weird at all, because the strange feeling was completely gone. But by the time I got halfway back up the mountain, the feeling came back way worse than it was before. Needless to say, I turned around and drove back home. Not the scariest story, I know, but to me it was terrifying. I didn't see anything. I didn't hear anything, but I felt something. Something really bad was out there with me that night. I don't know if it wanted to hurt me or just wanted me to leave. After a couple of weeks, my pride got the best of me, so I went out there and camped out for one night by myself again. Nothing happened, but it just wasn't the same anymore. Totally ruined the feeling I used to get anytime I visited the park. Haven't been there in a few years, so I'm hoping the next time I go, which will be during the day, things will feel different. 2009, my then girlfriend and I were just starting out with our own place. Found a cheap spot for $500 per month. It's been vacant for at least a year. Turns out last tenants, a mother and daughter, both died in the unit. The daughter died of a nod and a year later diabetes took the mother. I get first month half off for renting a rug doctor and trying to get the mother's body print out of the carpet in the living room. Didn't work that well. Ended up putting the couch over it. Most memorable event was walking from the living room to the bedroom one night. The hallway was too dark to see your hand in front of your face, but there she was right in front of me. Black on black standing inches from me. She was waving her hands in front of my face begging to be seen. I kept walking. I walked straight through her. If she knew I could see her, things would have only gotten worse. My favorite incident, I didn't see the ghost, but I saw what it was interacting with. An ex and I used to be in a paranormal investigation group. We both believe in ghosts and the paranormal, but are also extremely skeptical. We were in the basement of this closed hospital and the other members of the group started an EVP session. I don't believe in EVPs as they are too easy to fake and plant the words. But I look at my ex and say, you should give it a go and ask it some questions. She asks, is anyone here? Can you let your presence be known? Then in a hushed tone to me, stop fucking with my hair. I said, I'm not touching your hair. Then I turn my flashlight to her head and it appears as if someone has grabbed a chunk of her hair and is holding it straight up over her head. Then it just drops. We were excited and freaked out. So freaked out that we went outside and got some fresh air and walked it off a smidge to get our heart rates down. Sadly, I don't have any pictures or video of it, so I can't provide proof. So please be the judge for yourself if my story is true or not. Without proof, it's just a story. That's the standard I hold everyone else to, so it applies to myself as well. I've been married 25 years. One of my wife's sisters gave us a gift certificate for a night at a bed and breakfast near where we now live. So we booked a night and, when the time came, headed over. When we got there, we learned that the place used to be a farm dating back to the 18th century and the farmhouse was converted into a bed and breakfast. We also found out that the farmer's daughter had died and was still haunting her old bedroom. Guess who got her bedroom? That night, I woke up in the middle of the night. I saw something that appeared to be floating in the room in front of the fireplace. It appeared to be a large circular wicker sheet, for lack of a better word, that was folded in half with handles and flowers in it. The entire thing, including flowers, was white. There was also a weird feeling in the room. I could tell that there was nothing physically there. It looked two-dimensional, not three-dimensional. It's almost like I was looking at something in my mind, superimposed on the image of the room. It's very hard to explain. I tried to wake up my wife, but she wouldn't wake up. So I looked at the thing and said hi. I don't remember the girl's name. It continued to hang there for a few seconds, then it zoomed off toward the bathroom and that was it. I went back to sleep and we've never been back. The food was good, but we don't want to repeat the experience. Little backstory. My house was built back in the 1900s, so it's a bit old. Anyway, I was in bed watching YouTube videos on my phone when I heard a cat meowing. I have 2 cats, so I thought one of them was meowing because they were hungry. So I got up out of bed and walked to the kitchen. But as I was about to get the can of cat food from the fridge, I heard a meow again. I looked near the cat bowl and there wasn't any cat or cats. I thought one of them was in the laundry, so I went to check. Nothing. As I walked back to the kitchen, I saw a black silhouette of a cat. It wasn't any of my cats, because one is grey and the other is black and white. I blinked and the cat disappeared in the, well, a blink of an eye. Even though my cats weren't there, I still put food into the bowls and went back into my room. Next day, I woke up, and as I opened my curtain for some sunlight to burn my eyes, I saw a black silhouette of a humanoid. It was all pitch black, even if the sun was out, but the creepiest thing was that it starts to walk slowly, and so I shut my curtain and ran quickly into the kitchen so I could have breakfast. I was maybe 13 to 14 at a friend's house playing video games late one night. We were the only people in the house that night, for his sister went to a friend's house and his parents were out bowling / shooting pool. My friend took a break to make a snack. I also took a break and walked down the hall to use the restroom. As I leave the restroom, I see someone standing at the end of the dark hallway out of the corner of my eye. I immediately say friend's name. Haha, very funny. I thought you were making food. At this point I'm staring at this black mass at the end of his hallway between his parents' room and his room. My friend exits the kitchen, oriented behind me now, and asks, laughing, who I'm talking to, as hair's turning the corner toward the hallway. Realizing that the shadow I'm seeing, I sent in my panic, fall to the floor, slipping in my socks, trying to get the absolute fuck out of that hallway. He sees it as well and runs back to the kitchen where the only light that's on in the house. We run out of the back of the house and down the block back to my house, where we convince my mom that she has to call 911 because we thought someone had broken in. My mom, my neighbor, myself and my friend all go back down to the front yard of his house to wait on a cop to show up. While waiting, my friend and I see the shadow move from the hallway into the kitchen and the light goes off. Cops show up. No one in the house, no open windows or doors, except the back door being open from when we originally GTFO. I've yet to be back in that house. It's been 20+ years, and I still get the heebie-jeebies when I pass that house. Please like, share, comment and subscribe my channel.